My fellow comic book collectors, it's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and this is going to be a really great unboxing. This is part 2, and in part 2, great stuff. I can tell you right now, I know that there's some really great stuff in this one because I kind of accidentally saw a few of the things, but we're going to get into it. It's all this stuff. It's like a bunch of orders. Let's get right into it, and let's see what the first book is. Right off the bat, awesome book. Like I knew it was like going to be a bunch of great books, and this one is no exception. This is Jughead number 79, and this is just a hard book to find. It is an expensive book in any grade. Like you can have the most beat up copy and it'd still be expensive. It's just a great Creature from the Black Lagoon cover. It's like people collect these, monsters, universal monsters they're called. This is a great one. So, hey, Ronnie, how long has it been since you cleaned your pool, swimming pool? No, if you haven't cleaned your swimming pool for a long time, you get these Creatures from Black Lagoon ending up in your swimming pool, maybe. Okay, but just a fun classic cover, like really highly sought after cover. Really quite hard to find though. So let's see. I'm trying to open this one. They made it a little challenging. Okay. Okay. All right. And this is kind of a hot book. Yeah. This is Spiderman, The Lost Years #1. And this book was super hot recently because it is the first appearance of Hallows Eve. And she's kind of a character that's gotten her own Spider-Man solo series. So just a popular character. I always thought this cover looked really interesting. Like when I first saw it, I thought this was a remark. It looks like a remark almost. Somebody doodled on the cover. So this is Spider-Man The Lost Years #1. The first appearance of Hallows Eve. And she's kind of a character that's popular right now because she's got her own solo series and she was reintroduced in Spider-Man, the current series. And, oh wow, okay. So these are just some, this is just a one I thought was really great. It's a very cheap book. This is Jungle Jim. I just thought it was a really great cover. I just like this kind of little good girl on the cover. This is Jungle Jim number 22. And it's just a cheap buy, actually. This is a high grade copy. My comic shop grades this as 7.0, but it looks very flawless. Very nice graded copy. They always grade very, very conservatively. There's a bit of a, I think that's actually just the bag. I haven't seen any flaws in this book. So just a really nice copy. That little crease there is actually the bag itself. So yeah, really nice copy. So, my comic shop, they grade really, really strictly, and it works in the favor of the people buying. This is just a great cover. Somebody was mentioning this one to me, so I was like, oh, another cheap buy. This is Avengers number 18. And it's a really great cover. It's like this kind of suicide cover. I forget who was mentioning this. I think it was Lady Pop Hunter or somebody like that. Just an interesting cover. So no, don't shoot. It's like a suicide cover. So Avengers. And I was picking up this little series. I actually have a few from this series. This is Penguin Triumph. It's like these are one shots, but there was like different characters that they kind of did this with, and they're kind of nice. They're a little bit, has like a sort of a, I don't know, not a foil, but kind of a shininess to it. So yeah, so Penguin. I thought that was interesting. And This is kind of a big book. Last week I did my Q&A video, and somebody asked me, "Hey, can you show all your Catman covers?" Well, I said there's one more that I think is in the mail, and this is it. This is the Catman. This is Catman number 30, and it's in rough shape. It's a pretty low grade. It's complete though. The only problem is it has a spine split. You can see that the spine is just totally mangled. But if this was slabbed, you wouldn't be able to tell. So that's why I bought it. I bought it because it presents really well. Only thing is this big chip out here at the top, but it doesn't impact the cover too much. So I like this copy. So this is LB Cole, and it's just a really great Catman cover. So Catman number 30. That's a really big book. And actually, because it is in kind of rough shape, I was able to negotiate. Like, it was one of those ones on My Comic Shop where you can offer a best offer, and the guy accepted my best offer, so I was quite happy. Oh, okay, this one's an interesting one. I forgot what hot list it was, like maybe Lords of the Long Box or one of those ones, and they showed a book from this series, not this one, but one of the ones from this series, and it's like, oh, you know, it was like, I think it was like $200-300 for a raw copy. But I was like, oh, what, you know, I figured, hey, why not get the first issue of the series? And it's Red Shetland and Shetland, Red Shetland, sort of a parody, anthropomorphic parody of Red Sonja. And I just thought it was, yeah, kind of cute. So I figured, hey, why not? It's the back. And I guess some of the issues in this series are quite rare, and they go for big money. I got this for like $10, so I figured, hey, why not? So yeah, that one. And oh wow, lots of big books in this video. This is a really big one, and this one I was super excited to win. This is Cowpuncher, and number 2, and it's one of the, for me, it's the best Cowpuncher cover. It's a great bondage cover, just a really great cover. Nice golden age book. Cowpuncher number 2, really great cover. I love these bondage covers. So Cowpuncher has a lot of really great good girl art. Sort of a new genre that I'm sort of entering into is not just good girl art, but Western good girl art. So Cowpuncher, Frontier Romances, you know, there's like a bunch of these kind of Western books that have good girl art in them. So Annie Oakley is another one. Yeah, just some really great stuff that I'm discovering, getting into right now. Okay, let's see. Okay, there's so many bags and boards I have to get past. Okay, whatever this is, it's in VG copy. That's just like a little sticker. Let's find out what it is though. Oh, okay. This is actually a first appearance. Does it actually say who? No. This is a first appearance of some cowgirl character. This is a Hopalong Cassidy number 10, but they reused this character in some of the good girl art comics that came out later. So I figured, hey, why not pick this up? You know, golden age appearance. It was like under $20, and it's actually, you know, VG plus book, so it's presents quite well. I think it's Cadillac Cake or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I like picking up my weird first appearances. So that's some random first appearance. And oh, this one, you know, is another one I picked up from. I picked this up really cheaply. There's nobody bid on it, and I got it really cheaply. I paid like $9 for this. So this is for men only. And I just like these kind of men's magazines. They have some really crazy, they're crazy covers, and some crazy titles. Um, this one's Experiment Girl Barracks of Compound 8. You know, just kind of crazy stuff. I don't know. It's kind of fun. Gang doll pickup. Sultry blonde becomes too hot to handle playmate. Just funny stuff. You know, for the most part, they had like photos and stuff. They were pretty innocent, but they'd have like kind of like these spicy stories that were all like in text. So, and I'm actually trying to complete my Lois Lane run. And this next book is just one of those ones from the Lois Lane run. It's Lois Lane number 128. And actually, I'm wondering if this is an homage or if it was homaged, because it's like that classic cover. Like, I think it's Infinity Crisis that kind of homages this, where it's Superman holding Supergirl, right? So this is him holding Lois Lane, and it's like the wedding issue. Like, she looks all mangled and dead. So yeah, I don't know. So they always had, like, Lois Lane had some pretty funny stories. This one probably in that vein. So Lois Lane number 128. And this one is wrapped very interestingly. We'll see what it is. Very recycled looking boards. Okay. Wow. Oh, I actually showed this in the previous. They didn't ship it very well. Okay, I showed this in a previous, the previous part 1. So this is Showcase. I bought 2 copies of this. I actually ended up winning this in an auction for cheap, and I think I paid $2 for it. And then I got it on My Comic Shop. So this is my second copy of this, and I believe now I can find out whose first appearance in terms of artists is inside this book. It's a artist's first appearance, and it should say if I open it up. Okay. No, I'm trying to find which artist it is, and then so I can tell you and sound smart. What's that here? Nope. I forget what artist it is that made their first comic book appearance in here. I'll have to look it up. I put it on the first video, and I'll have to do the same with this video, where I'll reiterate the fact that it's that artist's first appearance. First artwork in comics appearance. And I don't know who it is. That's so funny. It's not obvious. I wish I could find out. Okay, so I'll look it up and I'll write it down. So, but this is Talent Showcase number 19. And you can pick these up a couple dollars. It's not an expensive book, but it is, as I said, a first appearance of a major artist. One sec here. Oh, this one is really taped. Sometimes people over tape when they send comics. It's very challenging to open. I try to have it as opened as possible before doing the video, so that it won't be such a struggling session. This one is a little bit more than I thought. Alright, got it out of all the stuff. And what is it after all that? Oh my goodness, and there's more tape. Wow, they put a lot of tape on it. Okay, so this one is just a book that I never had, and I actually won this book. I won this book. Somebody was doing a contest, I believe. What's his name? I'm trying to remember his name. He was doing a contest, and I won this book from him. This is Amazing Spider-Man 294. I actually interviewed the guy that did it. Is it what's his name? Romeo? Something like that. I'm terrible with names. But really nice guy, actually. Romel? I'm gonna butcher his name until I get it. Man, tip of the tongue kind of thing. So yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 294. This is the part 5 of The Last Hunt. Just a really great cover, actually, of Kraven the Hunter and Spider-Man. This is actually, I saw recently, somebody showed me a really cute homage of this book with Spider-Ham and like a whole bunch of characters. I thought it was quite funny. So this is Amazing Spider-Man 294. Just a fun one. I actually wanted to get that so many times, but I never did. Okay, this next book is controversial. Controversial book. They didn't bag and board it, which is kind of annoying, but it is a super rare book, and it usually commands quite big money. When I first started doing this YouTube channel, actually, somebody reached out to me that they had a warehouse find of this book. And they had like hundreds, like 100 copies or something like that, or 50 copies, some big number of copies. And they were wondering if I wanted to buy them all. And I was like, no, probably not. I would want one copy, but then they disappeared. So it was kind of weird. So they wanted to sell all or nothing. It was kind of weird about them. But this is a very famous book because it's controversial. And it's clean fun, starring Snugglefoot Jones. And a lot of people kind of misinterpret this book as being some racist book because, the way Black people are depicted. But this is one of those things that is highly misunderstood, that when they draw people, they kind of, like, especially in cartoon comics, they have a tendency of almost not satirizing them, but doing them as a caricature. And this is that style. So if you look, like, this is the Black people, right? But if you look at the white people, they look just as goofy. Like, you see this guy, he looks kind of goofy. You see this guy, he looks like a, kind of goofy looking white guy. So, it's not that they, that they were trying to be racist per se, but, they just sort of would do people as caricatures. So look, you can even see this white guy here, really goofy looking, made him look really dumb. So it just, it's, people take offense when it's done to Black people, but it was done to everybody equally. So, it's just, people take offense when they can. But this book is not actually, it's sort of like this guy is going on a little adventure, and, by the way, the footnotes for the following pages contain many short, pithy, inspirational epigrams taken from the story, from the book Stray Thoughts by Crump L. Strickland, once listed by the Southern Baptists as one of the best books in print for young people. So yeah, so it's just a rare comic that is very controversial. I like my controversial comics. I do collect them, so that's definitely a keeper. So just a great book. Okay, but highly misunderstood. A lot of these things are highly misunderstood. Okay, let's see this next one. Okay, this is this is a big one. These are, man, I almost should save this for the finale. That's how big these books are. These are very finale level books. Like, just crazy awesome books. So, but I'm going to show it now. This is how, so part 2, already like huge. Like, this is going to be a lot of great books. Okay, a lot of plastic wrap. So this is a collection of books that I bought from eBay seller Blizzard, and he just happens to have phenomenal books. He's just selling some really major golden age books, and that's what this is. It was a pretty big win that I got from him, and I was quite excited to win several of these books. And I was mentioning that that I collected that one of the books actually I kind of mentioned from this group. I taped them all together, so it's really hard to get them out. One sec here. Let's see if I can untape it. There we go. Okay. All right. So one of the ones that I was mentioning is Annie Oakley. This is has this kind of Western good girl art. And this is Annie Oakley #1. Very hard book to find and usually pretty pricey. So I was quite excited when I won the auction for this. I didn't get the best price for it. I got maybe a so-so price on it. I think it was around 300. You can probably pick this book up for about 300. So it was a fair price, but it wasn't a great price. So this is Annie Oakley #1. It was kind of a major key book to pick up. Here, kind of organize things here. The next book is Our Gang #1, and this is a major book, even though it's really rough looking. This is the first appearance of Tom and Jerry. So you got right there, Tom and Jerry, the cat and mouse. And it's also the first appearance of these characters, the Our Gang characters. But the big characters that are actually not even considered the major characters of the book are Tom and Jerry, that they made their first appearance in this. There was actually a Tom and Jerry movie that came out recently, and this is a really big book. It's really hard to find. I think there's less than 20 copies on the census. It's just a hard book to find. Even in this rough grade, this would probably grade out at a VG, or not a VG, I'm saying good, even with this big chunk missing, because actually the spine's solid and the top is solid. It just has a little bit of it has some water damage along the side, and then it has this chunk missing here. But other than that, it's actually quite sharp. So this is Our Gang Comics #1. Big book, really rare. And this one is this one's a little rough, but even I saw a 0.5 grade of this book, and this is in that range of 0.5, just because it's in really rough shape. I saw a 0.5 of this sell for $700, but I picked this up for $80. So I figured, hey, why not? I'll put in a low bid offer. It wasn't even a low. It was just a low bid. It was an auction, but I just love this cover. It's like that, woman in the red, she's being picked up by the swamp monster. I just thought it was a great cover. I wish that more of the cover was complete. It's just, you can see that it's a pretty big rip that's removed, and that's why it is a low grade. If it wasn't for that, it'd be a much higher grade. But yeah, this would be considered a 0.5 just because so much of the cover is missing. But yeah, still great book to pick up. So, and the biggest book of the group is this one. So we're showing a lot of controversial comics in this video. This is another one that was controversial. This is the Funnies #64, which is the first appearance of Woody Woodpecker. Now it's actually there's a couple other great things about this book, not just the first appearance of Woody Woodpecker, which is the big key about this book, but it's also a great patriotic cover. You got the planes flying overhead. You got the, they're kind of doing the Yankee Doodle Dandy kind of thing going on here. But it's this character here that's considered the controversial one. And this is 8-Ball. And Little 8-Ball. And the funny thing is, people wrote in after, I think, several issues in with this character. I mean, it was a very popular character. But some people wrote in saying, "Oh, it's so racist. Oh, you know, you have like they were just trying to make him look cute. Actually, they weren't even trying to make him look bad. You know, again, it's all about making caricatures of people. Like rabbits don't wear clothing. It's just you gotta have a little bit of sense. But people got really upset about him. The editor actually wrote saying, "Hey, this character was not intended to be racist. It's intended to be cute. He's a fun, lovable character. He's not meant to be racist." And but they ended up getting him canceled. So cancel culture even existed back back in the golden age. But this is a major book. It is in rough shape. You can see the spine is pretty mangled. Supposedly the cover's still attached, but barely. Yeah. So this is the Funnies, number 64. Very big book. That's kind of a grail. Those two, our gang comics and the Funnies 64 are two major grails for those kind of characters, Woody Woodpecker and Tom and Jerry. Okay, so next, I'm gonna watch the time. Oh, okay. This is kind of funny. So I mentioned that I collect infinity covers, and there was a series of comics called Get Lost that actually was in the golden age, but then they brought it back. That just happens to feature infinity covers, and I just bought a lot where it's these. This is like issues, I think 1, 2, and 3, and so we got this kind of Get Lost. You'll see that the original series would have, like, as I said, infinity cover, but they would always have somebody reading the book, and that would be the infinity cover. This is not an infinity cover because it's a different cover, but it's trying to keep on that tradition that the original series from the golden age had with the person reading the comic. I'm actually looking for the original series because I think that would be kind of fun to have, but they're a little bit more expensive. This was like $6 for this set. It's really cheap. So Get Lost. Okay. Okay, I'm going to do one more package, whatever is inside this package, and we'll see what's inside, and then I'll end this video. So far, some pretty big books. I actually was thinking I was going to save some of these for the finale, but hey, you get to see them now. Okay, this one is really well packaged. Didn't realize it was multiple layers. Okay. Okay, wow, so much junk on the floor now. Okay, so let's see what's inside here. Okay, first, very cool book. This is Lassie. I forgot what issue number this is, but I forget what issue number this is. I think it's like 20 something. But this one actually features the interior art by Matt Baker. I thought it was interesting that he did work on Lassie. So I was like, oh, I'll pick up a couple cheap Matt Bakers. These you can buy really, really cheap. It's like a couple dollars kind of level, like maybe $20 at max. But I picked them up for a couple dollars. So this is Lassie. I forgot what issue number, but in the 20s. And then we got a My Comic Shop order. I buy a lot of stuff from My Comic Shop. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Some more big books. Just never ends with big books. This first one is The House of Mystery #1. And this is in really rough shape, actually. It's a 1.0, very low grade, but it presents really, really well. I think it's the back cover that's mangled, but the front cover is really sharp. It's like one of those kind of ideal situations where the front cover looks great, but the back cover is messed up. I can't really show you the back cover, but this is just a really great cover too. But House of Mystery is a kind of a very famous title for DC, and to get the #1 issue has been something I've been trying to get for a while. So this is House of Mystery #1. And this is just, I just thought it was a cute cover. This is 13 going on 18, number 16. So yeah, just a cute, good girl art cover. Stanley, I guess, was the artist. And this one is, I just picked this up because I like the artist. This is Jenny Frison, and this is just a great Wonder Woman cover. This is a Wonder Woman 71, and it's the B cover with Jenny Frison doing the artwork. I found out that I didn't realize Jenny Frison had done Wonder Woman, and so I was like, oh, I gotta check out her covers for Wonder Woman. And so I saw this one, I was like, oh, that's quite nice. I like Jenny Frison, so hey, why not? And it was, again, very inexpensive. Okay, let's see what this next book is. Okay, still actually more. Jeez, so many things to show. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, there's a bit of a theme in this video. I didn't even intend for there to be a theme, but there is a bit of a theme because this next book is another good girl cowboy or good girl western cover. This is Cowpuncher #5, and you can see it's just a really great cover. I love the flames and stuff. This is just a great cover. Now the only flaw with this book is this one corner that's been chipped, but other than that it presents really, really well. So this is Cowpuncher #5. Isn't that a great cover? Nice fire. Okay, so that was pretty exciting. And let's see, a couple more books. Okay. This is kind of a really minor key, like probably like you wouldn't even call it a key because it is that minor. But this is Deadpool number 19. And this is the second appearance of HitMonkey. Somebody just mentioned it, and I actually like the HitMonkey show. Definitely worth watching. And this is the second appearance of HitMonkey. So I thought, hey, why not? It's really cheap. Basically, it's less than cover. I can pick this up for, I think I paid like $2 or something like that for it. So yeah, HitMonkey, its first appearance. Kind of fun. Oh, second appearance, I should say. Okay, next one. I actually have HitMonkey's first appearance as well, but okay, and this is the last one. And this one actually, I had a little bit of a debate with Night Tiger Comics about this one, a good friend of the channel. He was saying, oh yeah, it's a reprint. And at first I didn't think it was a reprint, but he's like, yeah, it's a reprint. So this is My Love Secret. Number, I think it's like 50 something, or 40, no, like something like that, like 50 or something like that. Now, how can you tell that it's a reprint? Well, what happened was a lot of these were produced by Fox Publishing, and when they went out of business, another publisher took over. Okay, I forget the name of the publisher actually, but another company took it over, and usually they don't have the price on the cover. That's a kind of a telltale sign. This one does have the price, but you'll notice that there's a little circle up here where you would expect a price to be. So this is sort of the last issue in the series for My Love Secret. But this copy, this printing, this issue came out many, many years after Fox had already gone out of business, like 5 years or 6 years afterwards. So it's an interesting book, but it is reprints, and it reprints material that was in earlier issues of the series. So not an expensive book, but I just thought it was interesting to get. I was quite excited. I didn't pay much for it, so I was like, for the price, even if it's a reprint, I wasn't too upset about it. But that's it. That was part 2 of this massive unboxing. I probably shouldn't have put so many books in it. There was just so many great books that I showed. I hope you enjoyed all the books. Stay tuned for the next part. There's actually still more great books coming. It just keeps on coming. So yeah, stay tuned, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.